Other good ones in the SAC, we're talking about Northside against Southside, the Archers with a victory last year, which I know does not sit well
it does not sit well with me at all.
Northside alumni and the contingent of the Legends.
Hey, somebody's got to win 0-6, 0-6.
But this actually should be a pretty even matchup. I really do like, I've seen Southside in person. They're a much different team. I know the record doesn't show it. They're a much different team from what we saw in like week 1 and week 2 to the last few weeks, because you got Mikhail Stevenson at quarterback.
Right.
Now you've got Omar Jackson settled in at wide receiver, DeMarque Perkins. I mean, guys that we didn't even know about at the beginning of the season have stepped into larger roles and are playing pretty good football. They just got to put it together for 4 quarters, because they'll get out of the gate pretty quick, and then boom, things go downhill in a hurry.
Yeah, definitely. You got to like Southside's chances in this game, I think, because they have the athletes, and Stevenson's really settled in at quarterback. And then conversely, you look at a Northside team, lost their freshman quarterback earlier in the year. Hayden Jones did not play due to injury last Friday. We're not sure of his status on Friday. So all of a sudden, you're down to your 3rd-string quarterback at North on an offense that really lacks playmakers to start with. So is Northside going to be able to score enough if Southside's able to score? That's the question. Both teams have competed. This is not, you look at 0-6, and sometimes we look at 0-6 teams and say they've just packed it in. Neither of these teams have packed it in. Northside was competitive against Wayne. They were competitive against Lures as well. Southside's been right there competing with teams. So this should be a fun game. I just think Southside has more offensively in this game.
Yeah, I think Northside, one of the things that goes unstated is the loss of Evan Clark not being able to play this season because of concussions. He would have been an all-SEC type of offensive lineman, would have been a captain, would have been a leader on the offensive line. And, man, you've got to be able to battle in the trenches in the SEC against defensive lines like Snider and Carroll and Tico Brown at Homestead and all those guys. And I just think that's been a loss. People haven't talked about it, but it's been a loss that's really hurt them when you don't have the bodies up front, especially a senior who was going to be a leader and be an all-conference type guy.
Yeah, and you don't really have another 6'3", 280 guy just to grab and pull up at Northside, whereas you would at a Snider and a Homestead and Carroll. I mean, it's the athletes are at a premium at programs like Northside, and when you lose guys like that, it hurts big time.
Concordia at Wayne and Snider at Northrop. What do you see as being the keys in these games? Because obviously, there's a rivalry in that Snider-Northrop game. Wayne, Concordia, not so much. Yeah. But I'm interested to see how Wayne bounces back after playing. They played about 2.5, 3 really good quarters of football against Snider.
They trailed 14-7 with the ball inside the 10 and couldn't score. I mean, they were only down 7-0 at halftime. I mean, good on you, Wayne. I mean, that's a tremendous job to compete with Snider. Snider and Northrop, we like to say it's a rivalry just because Snider has to be a rival with somebody, and the Bishops have each other. Homestead and Carroll have each other, so I guess, but this really hasn't been a series in almost 15, 20 years. So Snider they should keep on keeping on at least through the final third of the regular season. Then their season starts where they'll probably play Homestead again at some point in that section.
Yeah, they've got Dwenger next week, so they're certainly gearing up for defensively what they have to face in that game.
Yeah, definitely. We're impressed with Dwenger if they come out and beat Lures, and then maybe we can hype that game up. But through 6 weeks, 30 games in the SAC, 2 games have been decided by 10 points or less.
Really? It's been all blowouts.
2 out of 30, and and you and I, we do a great job of hyping these games up, definitely. But we're kind of looking at it going, man, we need some good games here in the SAC.
We do down the stretch, especially to get these teams ready for playoff runs when they're going to be playing teams from outside the area. Winning close games can't be overstated. That type of experience during the playoffs.